Skip Jeffries here, in the front yard, trying to get some measurements on this terracotta pot to hang the wreath. And I don't know if anybody is familiar with, or anybody that knows me, knows that I don't like heights and I don't like rickety shit. So we're gonna give it a go, see if we can get a measurement here. They should all be the same. We'll see how rigidity this ladder is. I've got my doubts. So we'll go up, we'll take some measurements, and then hopefully be able to create a 3D print off of this. But yeah, this ladder's got me a little on the wonky side here. I thought it'd be pretty good, but I didn't realize there'd be a lot of flex in it. So be patient with me. I don't like heights, so yeah, she's pretty wobbly. Oof. Wowzers. All right. Let's stick this bad boy in here. That'll probably work on the outside. So we'll give that a twist. And forgive me, let me see what this camera angle is going to be like. See if you can actually see something. I'm going to stick it in this hole here. We'll go closest to that edge, pop it out, and it doesn't look like much over that. Let's see what our scale says here. Now we're going to do our measurements in millimeters here, just because it's easier to do 3D printing. And we'll calculate for some deviance here. So looking at probably about 87 millimeters. That'll stay. Get my handy dandy Palm Pilot. And this ladder actually is pretty firm once you get on it. So I said 87 millimeters. That was that interior lip. I don't know how we're going to draw this. So right about here is 87. And I really need a spot to hang something. A little bag would have been nice. All right, let's get this outer lip. And it should roughly, nice to have some more fingers. It does get a little wobbly if you move a little bit, but other than that, not too bad here. All right, let's just finish up with these measurements here. We'll go to the outer edge on both edges, tighten it down, and that's probably only gonna be zeroed out. That might help actually recording this. That's like a 90.8, we'll go 91. And we'll have to swap up measuring sticks here. And we'll probably do, I don't know if we can get the camera up there, a measurement up here and then one at the base there, and then we can just taper it down from there. And I wanted to see, I don't know if my screw's going to actually go through there. I don't want to try damaging. We might have to get a smaller screw. But let's get these measurements down, see if we can get the next bigger one. I think that is it. Yeah. Actually, it kind of moves pretty easy for you. See if we line it up on the edges here. All right. The old Palm Pilot out here, the taper stick, zero it out. Do our measurements here, make sure we're around zero. Come on. Like about 75.2 maybe? 75.3. Okay. We'll do the old change up here. And this should be our last measurement. Now, a helmet recording device probably would have been better. Alright. I'm gonna slap her in all the way if we can. Nope. She'll fit all the way back there. Let's grab that other one. Glad I grabbed that smaller one. Hopefully this one don't snap up too bad. We'll just push her all the way in. Tighten her down and grab our measurement. And sorry for all the weird camera movements, but it is what it is, and this chest cam is not the greatest. They're sitting at about 46.7. But yeah, actually, with this ladder full extended up probably another 2-3 feet, it would make easy work to hang some lights. And just kind of looking off to the side there, looking for a connection that I can plug in the wreath once I get it up. So I guess my next thing is to see if my screw is too fat. I bought a 3/8 inch screw that was roughly about 6 inches. I want to see if I can get a depth on that. Got a depth gauge on this bad boy, and I'm checking a lot less than what I did when I was hanging the lights up here. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that high from the ground looking up, but once you get up here and look down, and there's a lot of wind. Oh, so there isn't that much of a play behind that. You're talking maybe 17, roughly less than, probably between a 1/2 and 3/4 inch behind that. I wanted to go up. Oof. Okay, these should all be the same type of pots. Yeah, let's go down, get the screw. I don't know if I brought that up with me. I don't know if I thought that far in advance. Oh, I may have it. No. Going up and down this ladder is not the funnest thing. But we'll go down and get that real quick. Yeah, she's got a lot of bow when it comes to the... Ooh. And that last step is a ringer on the back. Anyways, we'll take a pause here. Let me get that screw and we'll go back up real quick. But I was going to go with the 5/8 because it was a little bit thicker. I thought there was more of a hole at the end of the pot. But I'm glad I went with this thinner one. We'll climb up the flexi post here. Oof. Oof. Let's see if that'll go into the hole. Oh yeah, she'll fit. Now I'm hoping I don't know what's behind this. I've got a 6-inch drill. Ideally, you want enough of a nub left on it. We may have to go with an 8-inch. But looking at it, I think this might work. And I'm glad I got the combo bit for it. I don't know if you can see from this angle here. I don't want to bend over too much, but it's a pretty good fit for the 3/8 inch. So let's get off this rickety ladder and do some thinking. We got a couple questions answered, I guess. Oof. Now let's see if this thing is as easy to let down. Actually, wrong one. Not too bad so far. Come on, let loose. Ooh, watch your fingers. Alrighty, that went pretty slick. Probably should have left it up there, but anyways, we will meander back into the garage. And I think that was a pretty successful test of this ladder's capabilities. A little scary at first, but I think it'll work. Successful test, I would say, of this ladder. Worked as advertised, so. And I think once you use it more, I think the better or easier it'll get. Like I was saying, I picked up this is a 12-inch, quarter-inch bit. We may have to go to a 3/8 now that it looks like it's kind of like a brick substrate underneath that. But it should be wood, you would think. But we will see. We'll probably have to look at adding some sealant to the screw once we get it in there. Like I said, I think I may have to get an 8-inch screw just to give me the clearance that I need on there to kind of properly hang what I need to hang on there. 6 inches will be pretty close for a little bit of a loop or a lip. And we may look at what we can design with the 3D print mode on it to make that happen if we can't find a longer screw, because I was at Lowe's and that was the longest they had for 3/8. So, but anyways, guys, the other MVP today too was these tools here, the little T-Gages. So they worked like a champ. I can't complain. That bad boy may have to go in a little on one side. But yeah, I thought they'd be a little bit more greasier. There should be one more here. Wherever it goes in. No. But yeah, they worked as advertised, so I'm pretty happy with that. I got my 16 bucks out of it, I think. I'll probably use it a couple more times for other projects, but money in the bank, folks. But anyways, I may cut this video off and do a part 2 on the 3D build part of it. But I want to thank you guys for watching,